How do you stop your underslung water tanks freezing in the winter whilst keeping a check on the levels and the temperature inside the tanks?
In this episode, we're turning these tanks into smart, heated tanks ready for life underneath
Our Fiat Ducato Campervan in progress.
We'll also take a look at how much it cost at the end of the video.
For the tanks, I'm fitting the wide ale tanks, and I've got the 92 litre and the 62 litre, or something like that. I'll pop the exact size on the screen. I've just drilled a hole in here, which is 38mm, just to drop the level sensor in. I'm just going to seal it around there and then just put some screws in. I'm running the wires towards the centre as I'm going to run my cabling up through the van, connected up in the middle there. So let's get cracking. Using hygienic sealant. This one, food safe, given it's for drinking water. Just pop some around here. We'll drop that down onto there, like that. Just to make sure it's going nowhere, we'll just pop some screws in as well. Just the right length, those little screws there. 4.2 by 13, so they're not going right the way through, which is always good. The excess sealant off there. I made the temperature sensors. I wanted to check the temperature of the water using these that I got for 50p on clearance at work. Stainless steel drinking straws, about 6.5mm wide, and I just 3D printed a little cap for it. In there it has a temperature sensor compatible with the servo, and just put some cable on it, which again will run to the middle and connect up. I'm going to put the pen there for context, then hopefully the camera focuses on that, then we can use that as a focal point. So here is an LM335. Here's one I've connected the wires to. Got the flat side of it there, and then we've got the middle pin which is connected to the positive, and the right hand pin which is connected to the negative on this particular one. This is the pin that we're going to remove, and I literally waggle it backwards and forwards. A bit of metal fatigue, and there we go. The 3-pin device now only has the 2 pins, and then you simply solder the connections onto the pins. Better than I've done there, that's terrible. And then pop a bit of heat shrink on, shrink it down, some other insulation, and you've got yourself a nice cheap temperature sensor there that worked with your Servo GX. How about that? To finish it off, what I did is I popped that in the straw, just fed the cable up, and then popped some sanitary silicone in. Job done. Clearly that's one of those you do at your own risk. So maybe something you wouldn't even attempt. Let us know in the comments if you'd give that a go, or if you've got any other suggestions for things like that to save a few pounds. That's that fitted. Just wait for the silicone to go off there. And there's that fitted. Give it a little bit of a clean out inside for any of the swarf that went in. But there we go. So jobbed. This is the fresh, the larger one, and that one is the waste tank. So we'll let that cure and get on with the next one. There we have it. That's both of them done. And thanks to Michelle for the 50p. Stainless steel straws, brilliant. There is one more thing we've got to fit, and that's the Frost Guard water heater. So we'll fit that next. I've fitted the anti-frost, anti-freezing heating element for the tank. Fits there. So we've got the temperature sensor, we've got the level sensor, we've got the heater for the tank, and we've got a controlled outlet for the tank and an inlet. And over here we've got the level sensor, temperature sensor, and then I've just got that to fit, which is the valve for draining. To ensure it's well insulated and just give it some extra robustness in the winter, I'm fitting this closed cell foam, which is just self-adhesive, and just sticking it to the tank on the bottom and the sides, and also using this silver foil just to finish it off to winterize it. So hopefully that'll keep us good in the cold weather. When I've put the connections in here, I've used some dielectric grease just to stop the connections corroding away. Any of you who've got a CV van are probably aware of the problems that happen if you don't protect those connections. The road debris and salt get into them and it basically corrodes them away. Just clip the top on here, like so. That little box was a couple of £2 from Screwfix. These bits are loose because I need to actually fasten it to the van, and then when that's finished I'll tape those up to keep it nice and tidy. But this is the water outlet that actually feeds through then, so pipe connects on there and it feeds to the pump and the strainer. Next we have the fresh drain pipe, which comes up through here, through this valve, and then that'll connect onward to the pipe once we get it installed on the van. Here we've got the tank heater. See behind here the wires are tucked underneath, got a little bit more taping to do there. This is the inlet, so basically it's going to be connected up to a hose outlet, and that'll connect onto where that connects into, and these wires and things connect up so that we can manage the flow and control that into the van. So on this side we've got one waste inlet, and then on the other side we have this outlet valve for the wastewater, and on this side we have two other waste outlets. That one's for the sink in the washroom, and that one is for the kitchen sink. Then I've got the wires at the top. One side I've got the connections here, which one of the pairs of wires connects to the tank heater, the other connections connect to the valves so that they can be controlled by the electronics that are going to be built into the van. The other side's got the sensors, so we've got two level sensors and two temperature sensors, as you saw earlier, and they're going to connect into the Serbo GX for measuring the tank level and the temperature of the fluid in the tank. So there you have it. That's the tank. So next on the list, we'd better go and get it fitted. Is it me, or did the weather know I was about to be working outside? I was about to fit the tanks, but then it started raining, so we'll do that on an upcoming video.
We'll now take a look at the tank costs and what it cost me. Firstly, the tanks themselves, which are the Relay Ducato Boxer, long wheelbase, fit the L3 and L4 underslung water tanks, and that is both the fresh 95 litre and the waste 62 litre, and that came in at £535 from Bobble Vans. I used a number of different connectors and I've bought various packs and things, so I've approximated the cost on this. I've got on the screen there all the different ones, so feel free to pause. Clearly check for yourself and make sure those are right for your setup, but I spent about £40 on these connectors. Tank accessories, so I got the controller and level sensor kit, which I'm connecting to my own system for £49, and the 1-inch motorized ball valve, which I got from US Solid, which were $33.95 each, and they are used for the drainage of the fresh and waste water. I did get an automatic defrost, and that came in at $103.70 with the mounting plate, and I got that from leisurelines.net. I did debate whether to get one of these or not, and in the end I decided to put one in the fresh water rather than in the wastewater as well, just in case we're ever away somewhere cold, and it just keeps that fresh water running then. Because I can always generate some hot water to defrost the waste, or that's the theory. So we'll see how we get on there. And then finally, the tank insulating wrap, which came in metre lengths. Worth noting, whilst there was plenty of pieces left that I'd cut away when I was fitting it and tidying it up to close the gap. So 3 metres works if you don't mind patching it. If you do want the whole blanket round, I would order 3.5 metres or 4 metres just to make sure you get it covered all the way. The other insulation I put on I already had, so I haven't put a price on that one. That is just literally stick-on insulation. I didn't put any on the top just to avoid reducing the clearance when the tank attaches. So that total came in at $281.11 for those tank accessories. The tank custom temperature sensors I made myself, as you'd have seen earlier in the video. The stainless steel straws I got for 50p. And the temperature sensors I got in a pack a few years back, which was $5.25 for 25 of them. So that came in at 42 pence, and odds and bits to finish it off, such as filament and cable and things like that, a couple of pounds. So £2.92 for my custom temperature sensors. That's not bad, is it? Moving on, final costs are the aluminium foil, £6.66. 10 metres of 8-core alarm cable, which I used for the connections, which is about £5 when you work out the amount off a roll, and some double-sided foam tape, which I did use to stick the insulation to the bottom of the tank and just hold it in place, as I taped it with the aluminium tape as finishing, but the foam tape's there just to try and hold it underneath. That was $7.99. And I used some corrugated conduit tube, again about 10 metres of that, and I had a 50-metre bundle of it. I've gone through a few of those so far. And then finally just miscellaneous bits and pieces, about £5. And that brings us to the total cost. So if we add all those up, we get to £889.07. That excludes the cost for the freshwater inlet components, as we'll cover those in another video. And it also excludes that insulation that I stuck on the bottom of the tank, as I already had that.
What do you think of it, Roxy? What do you think? Thank you for watching. Hope you found this useful, and I will catch you for the next bit. Bye.